everyone, my name is Tracy and I'm an immigration lawyer in Toronto, Ontario. So I came in today to make a video about immigrating to Canada. I often get calls and messages from people asking about Canada, how to immigrate, where to start the process. And I do understand it can be a really daunting process considering there's several different programs with their requirements and conditions. So I'm coming in today to list and briefly explain 3 different ways that you can immigrate to Canada. And these aren't the only ways to immigrate to Canada, but these are common ways that people do immigrate. So let's begin the video. The first program I want to talk about is the Family Sponsorship Program. A Canadian citizen or permanent resident who's at least 18 years of age can sponsor a relative. A relative can be a spouse, a common law spouse, conjugal partner, a dependent child, parent, grandparent. Other relatives such as aunts and uncles, nieces, nephews, brothers and sisters can also be sponsored, but under very specific conditions. And I must say, there are other requirements that go into making someone an eligible sponsor. For instance, you can't be a recipient of social assistance unless it's related to a disability, but I will get into those details in future videos. Program I want to talk about is Express Entry. Express Entry is good for skilled immigrants who want to settle in Canada. It's an economic program and it's a points-based system. You're awarded points for your English and or French language skills, your work history, your education, amongst other factors. So once an Express Entry profile is created, there's a score that's generated. Your name will be in that Express Entry pool for 12 months, and only those with the highest scores will receive an invitation to apply. Immigrate to Canada is through the Refugee and Asylum Program. So if you're a convention refugee or a person in need of protection, you may be eligible to claim protection in Canada. So what is a convention refugee? A convention refugee is someone who's outside of their country and has a well-founded fear of persecution based on race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group. A person in need of protection is someone who can't return to their country because there's a danger of torture, a risk to their life, or a risk of cruel and unusual treatment or punishment. Canada has an in-Canada asylum program that's available for convention refugees or persons in need of protection who want to claim protection within Canada. And it also has a resettlement program for people who are outside of Canada but want to resettle in Canada. And also there are very specific conditions when it comes to both of these programs. And there's so many more details that go into it, but this is just a brief overview. So if you have any more questions or need to know anything else about immigrating to Canada, just send me an email. My email will be below, or send me an email through YouTube. Thank you. Bye.